Hey guys, welcome back to the workshop. Today, something a little bit different. I found this plane under the house. It's my grandfather's old plane. You can see it's pretty rusty and needs restoration, so that's the job for today. So I bought this rust remover from the local hardware. So what I'll do is I'll fill this container. This is just an old scrap container with the rust remover and start to soak some of the parts. With a lot of the rust removed and the muck, you can see it's number 130 Stanley. Okay, so just cleaning things up. I just got a cheap metal wire brush from the local hardware, and just getting in there and give everything a bit of a clean up as best we can. So it's coming up pretty well. Ideally, if you have like a sandblaster or something like that, that'd really clean it up, but at this stage, I don't. So the other thing I've just been doing is slowly working away on a bit of 400 wet and dry, just to slowly bring up the bottom there. It's amazing how sharp this still is after so many years. I was almost able to cut the hairs on my arm with it. Obviously needs a bit more cleanup, but surprisingly sharp. Yeah, just for the chisel blade, I 3D printed this block. It's just at a 20-degree angle, and it just makes sure as I go across the stone to sharpen it, it's staying consistent. I'm sure there's proper ways to do this, but this should be good enough for my needs. Getting there. Just want to get all that oxidization off. I'm doing the coarse side to start with, just to get the meat of it, and then I'll flip over to the finer side and hopefully get a nice sharp edge. Okay, that edge is looking better in terms of the rough side. I'll flip over to the smooth side now and get a finer edge on it. Okay, so now everything's cleaned up. I'm going to paint everything with an epoxy enamel just to make it look nice and neat and protect from any future rust. Okay, so what I've done is drilled a hole in the middle of this, not all the way through, because obviously I want the handle at the other end, but I've put a screw into it and then mounted that in the drill. And then I'll get some coarse sandpaper, this is off a belt sander, and see if I can just round this out a bit. Okay, so that's coming up. I've got a few scratches to get out the end and I'll try and round it over a bit more. I might even see if I can put a bit of contour into it. Okay, everything's painted now. I'd masked off the bottom to avoid paint getting on that and keep it nice and neat. The blade's all sharpened up, so that can go back in. And then I've also screwed in the adjustment wheel, which is all painted as well. And that can go in. Adjust it down and that holds the blade in. And the handle, I just put some lemon oil, actually it's from fretboard oil, which seemed to come up quite nicely. And I just drilled and tapped a hole big enough to screw on. And it's done. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next video.